All right, we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is our performance seminar for Friday the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. This is our 6 o'clock session, and I'd like to invite Miss Tesla to start us off. So, Tesla, when you're ready, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and the piece that you'll be performing?
My name is Tesla, and I'm going to play Legend of Madrid.
Oh man, give it up for that last chord. I saw how much passion you had in that last chord with the way that you lifted your chin, eh? Ding. Very good, Tesla. All right, walk us through. How was that performance for you?
I think it was fine.
Yeah? Talk us through what made it fine. Name me two things in your playing that you can agree, yep, that was
Like,
fine.
like the smoothness and the dynamics.
I do agree. The smoothness that you played and the dynamics, yeah. If you were to talk about two things that you want to consider to level up based on how you played, what would they be?
Wait, what?
What are two areas in your playing that you would like to improve for next time? Let's say you perform this again next week. What would you like
Probably
to
try
improve?
to be more calm because I was so nervous.
Ah, why were you nervous?
like, like I thought I was gonna make a lot of mistakes.
That's interesting. Did you make a lot of mistakes?
Maybe like one or two, but not a
Yeah,
lot.
hardly anything. And because of and I think the big power that you have is that you've practiced so thoroughly that you are able to continue even if there was a slight slip. No, we didn't notice it. All right. So I think it's
Yeah.
great. Okay, cool. Let's just quickly go around the room and get some thoughts. Miss Isha, why don't you give Tesla some thoughts? One thing that you thought that she does really well in her playing, and perhaps some advice that you might have for her.
I think her dynamics were really good.
That,
I think maybe something she could work on is like at the end she did have that emphasis on the last note, but maybe she could add a little bit more of that into the piece. But it was really good.
oh, that's interesting. So you like the energy that she brought toward the end, and you think you'd like to have that within the piece. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's something that you can think about Tesla. What about you, Joe? Did you have some thoughts for Tesla?
I like the dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, I would agree with Isha on the last part.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so you want to have a little bit more energy as well.
Yeah.
Good, nice. All right, so I think I agree with you all. The energy that she had in the end, you could also bring that toward the beginning. But you can also play around with these dynamics and make them just a little quieter from the opening. Yeah. Something else to consider is you've got a lot of this pattern here. Ya da 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 dum, da 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 dum. So think about how you'd like to shape these as well, Tesla. Yeah. Listen back to this recording. Sometimes you could hear that you were creating some shape and you were following the line, and that made it interesting to listen to. Other times I found it was just a lot of finger work. Now, it could be to do with maybe you're a bit nervous, but if you start thinking about the shape of the notes and the kind of sound you want to create, you'll be so consumed with these thoughts. There's no real time to get nervous. Yeah. A couple of things to keep in mind. Some of these transitions, like from the C sharp and then switching to the C sharp here in the scale. If you know that you're slightly hesitating, what is something that you can do so that this part would be smoother? What do you think, Tesla? Going from here to the run.
Probably like try to stay calm.
Stay calm is a big thing. But in addition to that, I want you to also think about the movement that's coming next. So that finger 2 is there on the C sharp, but then directly following it, the thumb has to switch underneath it, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's what you need to keep in mind. You need to look ahead. Like, oh my goodness, okay, here we go. We got the 2, and then the thumb has to be on the ready. What happened when you got to that point is the thumb wasn't quite sure of where it needed to go. And so there are little parts like that in the piece. You just got to find them and then figure out what's the move that I need to do next from this position to the next. Yeah?
I could probably like look at the notes after I play the notes before them.
Yeah, that's right. Right. Just look ahead. Just look ahead as well. That's exactly right. All right, cool. But yeah, I thought in general the character that you brought was really great. You had a pretty steady tempo the whole way through. I would now get you to come up with a story or a narrative that goes along with this piece, because it'll really help it bring it to life. Plus, once again, you'll be so consumed with the story, you're not thinking so much about, oh my goodness, am I going to get the notes right? But something a lot more interesting, which is, what kind of story can I bring out with my music making? All right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you, Tesla. Wonderful work. All right, we continue. Who do we have next? We have Joe. Joe, when you're ready, go ahead, turn on your camera. Please introduce yourself, your piece, and the composer.
My name is Joe, and I'll be playing Zieg.
Who's it by?
By Samuel Arnold.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Oh, I'm playing the wrong note. Sorry. Well done, Mr. Joe.
How's that performance for you?
Well, I got pretty nervous, so I messed up the notes.
Ah, see, Tesla, look what you did. You sent your energies to Joe. It's all good. It's all. I think one of the things that, once again, and you all you students did this really well, is you're keeping a very solid tempo, a very steady beat the whole time, and even if there are some slips, you keep moving forward. Yeah. What are some things that you could do during your practice to battle these nerves, Joe?
I should play more smoothly,
You could.
on metronome.
That's one. That's one way. Tesla, what are your thoughts? What could Joe do when he practices so he could be more solid?
The dynamics are nice, but like you could just use a metronome to, like, if you have a metronome, to smoothen it out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Metronome will definitely help you really stay locked with the beat, right? What about you, Oliver? Do you have some advice for Joe that he could use to be more solid with his playing?
Yeah, it sounded really good, but if you make a mistake, don't say I'm oh sorry and restart. Just like keep on playing. Except for like the like the wrong notes part. But yeah, it sounded really great.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so this is a good thing, Joe. Keep in mind, always keep in mind when we're performing. Most people aren't looking for the mistakes, and only when we show them, right? Only when we show them do they really know. Otherwise, people don't notice, right? So really, just focus on where the notes are going. So you singing these notes to yourself or clapping them out to yourself really helps. Visualizing, right? Visualizing, are they going up? Are they going down? Are there any patterns? Right? You want to do all this work to map out how the music is put together so that you give yourself the best chance when you're performing. You'll be able to see it in front of your eyes as you play. Yeah. So some of those places where you slip slightly, that's what you want to do. Right? Even here toward the end, da dee da 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 dum, down to the F sharp. And sometimes, kind of like when you give a speech at school and you use flashcards, you might just want to write down, oh, there's an F sharp approaching, and that should help you, right? Lead you to the G. So these are just a couple of things that you want to keep in mind. Think about how the notes are put together, sing them through to yourself, and look out for clues that will teach you, oh, this is the end of the piece, end of the A section because there's an F sharp. All right. Okay, really good. Nice. Come back again soon and perform this to us. All right, cool. Well done, Mr. Joe. Isha, your turn.
Okay. So, hi, my name is Isha, and I'm going to be playing Minuet in F by Mozart. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to restart.
Well done, Miss Isha. By the way, it's nice to see you again. It's been a while.
Thank you.
Nice. Welcome back. All right. Is this your first time performing this in seminar?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. What's your review of your own performance?
Yeah, I have no idea what happened in the first line. I kind of just like, I don't know. But I think when I restarted, I got more confident. I also think I messed up on a few notes, so I could work on that. But I think my dynamics and rhythm was pretty steady, so that's good.
I thought so too. Like everyone else here, your performance was really solid, and you just kept the ball rolling. Wow. Let's go around the room. Let's start with Oliver. Oliver, some thoughts for Isha?
Yeah, like I said, yeah, you played, like I said to Joe, you did, really well. I really liked the piece, but when you make a mistake, don't say sorry and just try to keep playing.
Fair enough. All good. Nicely done. And Tesla, some thoughts?
Maybe play a bit smoother with metronome if you have one.
Metronome will also really help keep everything very solid, right? And the rhythm in place. Also, the metronome teaches you to look ahead, right? With the
Yeah.
metronome, you can't think backwards. Yeah, nice. And what about you, Joe? Some ideas or thoughts for Isha?
Yeah, I would say to use the metronome too.
Yeah, okay, cool. Isha, one of the things, other than the metronome, you can start thinking about how you're going to phrase. Yeah, da, da, like, right? You've got these three little segments here. Ya da dum dun da dee dum bum ba dum, right? And so for each one, think about how you want to play them. Are you going to play them quite quiet? Are you going to give a little bit of energy to each of them? Do they increase in energy, leading to here, right? Something that you hear a lot in classical music is called ready, steady, go. Ready, steady, go, right? Da da dun dun da da dun dun go. So also think about where the music is headed and how you're going to guide us through it to get to the climax, right? That'll be the first thing. And then the second thing that you can start thinking about as well is just playing more into the key. I feel at the moment you're doing a lot of finger work, but not enough hand sinking into the key to really make the music sing. Right? So just think about that. It's like someone talking, but they don't have any volume. They're not speaking from the diaphragm. So just keep that in mind as you play. Other than that, I think this is a good start. Is it by memory as well? Sorry, I couldn't really see.
No.
Okay, it would be interesting once you memorize it,
Yeah. I think
right?
it might actually help me a little bit because what happened was I kind of looked at the notes and I completely lost track of what was happening. So,
Right. Yeah. So I think just trusting the memory that you probably already can memorize it. If you've got time tonight before you go to sleep, just try. Once class is finished, just play it through again and see what you can achieve just by memory. Okay.
all right, thank you.
Otherwise, great job. Yeah. All right. Thanks for your comments, everybody. And that brings us to our last performer today, Mr. Oliver. The stage is yours. Please introduce yourself and your piece.
Thank you. I'm Oliver Heath. I'm going to be playing The Harp by, Ludwig Scheidt.
Oh, like a professional, eh? I see that. Were you going by memory? Are you off book or are you using the sheet?
I have the sheet here, but I can kind of memorize it. I just need to look at the finger numbers.
I reckon you got it in the memory. It's a short piece and it's just the same pattern, right? It's just these two lines and then they repeat. So, first of all, well done. It's nice to hear you perform this from top to bottom. Lots of good things here. Clearly, you know the notes, clearly, you've got the rhythm. But do you notice there's a slight hesitation between the left hand and the right hand? Sometimes you go da da da, and then like there's a split second where you go bop bop bop. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Well, are you aware of it, by the way? In case you're like, what are you talking about?
I think I'm aware of it.
Okay.
I think it's like what some of the other people said here. Like you don't feel it when you're like watching other people play, but when you finally start playing, like your heart rate gets faster and you're like a little bit more nervous.
Right. Let's go back around. Tesla, if we know that our heart rate is going to build, what would you suggest we do then as we prepare for a performance? Tesla, you there?
Probably practice.
Well, you are all practicing, but still you all come in and you're nervous. So is there something else? Is it a mindset?
Maybe try think of something that calms you.
Ooh, that's interesting. What do you think about that, Oliver?
Yeah, I think that might help.
Possible, right? I mean, think about it. It was a long weekend, right? When you guys go traveling with your families, if you're sitting in the car in the back and you're just twiddling your thumbs, can you guys all just think about how can you position your body and your mind to be able to play and with a steady heart rate? All right? That's what I want you all to think about. Don't worry, it happens with professionals as well. It happens to me too. Something that works for me, I like Tesla's idea. Think of something that calms me, but I consume myself with the notes that I'm about to play, how I'm going to play them, the speed that I'm going to play, the first note, right? These are all relevant to the music rather than, oh man, I'm going to get the wrong notes, right? Or there's going to be a hesitation. So in your case, Oliver, you might like to think, okay, I'm about to start. This is my tempo. My finger 5 goes on A, and then the thumb goes on A in the right hand. And this is this beat. 1, 2, 1, 2. Da, 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 right? So you want to get into a kind of groove. That would really help. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing that you want to think about as well is how you want it to sound. Right? Do you want it to sound how would you describe the character of this piece?
Like really kind of supposed to be like spooky, like you're going through a haunted house or something like that, you know, like
Oh wow. Is that your idea?
yeah.
Oh, I like that.
So what
Okay.
Justin said.
I'm gonna pull him up on that. Did he actually come up with a spooky haunted house?
I came up with the haunted house part, but like
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a haunted house kind of guy.
yeah, I also think that it's supposed to be like spooky and like classical but spooky at the same time.
Okay, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, like when you walk
So,
a door of a haunted house and then that's just like one piano's just like playing all by itself, you know?
oh my goodness,
Melody, yeah.
like a toddler's playing it,
Yeah.
right? And then they turn their head, but it's actually an old man. What? Well, whatever the case, I want you to continue thinking about the connection between the left hand and the right hand, right? So the theme for today seems to be the metronome. Everyone is in favor of the metronome, right?
Yeah.
So just bear that in mind when you play, and just make sure that you lock in. If it's going to be hitting it, if you're going to be beating twice per measure, make sure that your A in the left hand and the A in the right hand land with the beat. Da, 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 right? As an exercise, you might even like to just put the metronome on and just play the first note of each hand. Just try that.
Yeah.
Just feel that groove, right? And then when you're happy with that, you add in the other notes. You just fill in the blanks. Yeah. Some ideas that we can all try, all right? All right, everybody. That brings us to the end. Thank you so much for performing. Enjoy your long weekend. Drive safe wherever you guys go, and we'll see you guys again next week. Thanks, everybody.